presents to you Honest Talk.
Hey folks, today an Indian Army veteran, inspirational speaker, soft skills trainer and Miss India 2017, Captain Shalini Singh is joining us. She has covered a remarkable journey from an ordinary girl who an army officer to winning the title of Miss India. She is actively involved into the various social causes related to slum children, cancer support, animal welfare and supporting war widows. She was taken on the force of Indian Army in the campaign Do You Have It In You and has also been associated in various campaigns and shows. She has been recently honored by Ms. Savita Kovit, President's Wife and Indian Army. She has won many coveted awards like Veer Nari Samman Puraskar by Government of India, Epic Award 2018, Citation of Honors by Lions Club, All India Achievers Award, Women of Courage Award and by International Human Rights Council and Woman of the Year 2018 by Newspaper Association of India. So let's begin our talk with Captain Shalini Singh.
First of all, ma'am, thank you so much for joining us and agreeing to share your thoughts on our platform. It is really a great matter of pride for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me and connecting with me. I'm also glad that I get a chance to speak with you.
So, ma'am, before I begin with the session, the topic which we have chosen, of course, crime against women, Western culture, rural thinking, and weak laws. Ma'am, I would like to listen from you. You have faced so many challenges in your life, and every time you have stayed strong and make people around you wonder how you are still smiling. So please first tell us about the challenges you have faced in your life.
Yeah. So thank you, Harsh, once again. See, what I would like to say, the challenges are part of life. I hardly know any person who says that he has never encountered any challenge and life has been a bed of roses from beginning till end. So it is never like that. So my life also has faced a lot of ups and downs, and it is now important when you are faced with a challenge or a setback. It is important that how you are able to cope up and how you come out with it, right? Like just 2 hours back, we have been hearing the news of the death of that Bollywood actor. So it is very important that. Yeah, so I used to follow him a lot, and it's very shocking that but we all feel that everybody's fine. It is very important that. Yeah, so it is very important that we should first understand that the setback which you are facing is not the end of the world. That we feel कि जो हमारे साथ हुआ है इससे बुरा किसी के साथ नहीं हुआ, तो ऐसा नहीं है. शायद आपके साथ जो हुआ उससे भी बुरा लोगों के साथ हुआ है. So that is the first thought I always bring to myself when I am into anything which is not favorable, just the thing which gives me a setback or a shock. Then I always look back at how many people are seeing more worse situation than that. And now also it is very important for me to understand that bura ho gaya hai, worst has happened. Now my next is how to make it normal or how to come out of it in a positive way. Because jo ho gaya, you can't reverse it now. So it is very important to work towards a productive and a positive side. So I always try to I don't like waste much of my time in crying over a situation. I may be in trauma, I may be in shock, I may be in sorrow. That goes side by side, but along with it, I work on a plan B, which is like how to get back my life to normal, or any of my family or friend who is going through any problem. It is very important. So all the challenges I faced, like losing my husband at a very young age, joining the army, then meeting with the road accident, bringing up my child alone. So all these things have been really, because in our society it is very difficult for a girl of 21, 22 years of age that you lose your husband and then your entire life is in front of you, where you have a small child also, where you don't know what to do when you're totally dependent on a person for everything. But then it is also I believe in one thing, that quitting is very easy. Quitting is very difficult. Living is very easy. So it really requires a lot of strength to give up on your life. So if you have that kind of strength, then why not use it in a productive way, and why not put it to something positive? Maybe you can find a light ahead. That's what I always say.
It is really a wonderful message, ma'am. Before I begin, come to the topic of today's discussion, ma'am. As I know, you are a soft skill trainer and also a motivational speaker. So I would like to ask you, ma'am, please give us any mantra to stay mentally fit or something, remain positive. Please, so we could start.
Yeah. So first of all, as we say that nobody is alone. We all feel that this is very difficult times which we all are going through. People are locked in houses. Few people are locked alone in houses for past 2 months, 3 months. Right? That is one phase. But there are also phases when you have a lot of friends, but you still feel that you're alone. You have family, but you still feel I'm alone. And we are always in the fear of people will judge us. People will think, if I reach out to somebody, people will start judging me, laughing on me, mocking. So I will strongly tell everybody that please don't bother about what others will think, what people will think. It is not your work to think what others are going to do. If you need help, if you need advice, if you need any assistance, whether it is your workplace, it is your personal life, your professional life, never ever hesitate to reach out to people for help. I have not done anything alone in my life. I always took the support of my family, of my colleagues to excel in my life, to grow ahead in my life. So that is very, very important to remember, that never be scared or never feel hesitant to reach out to your friends, family, colleagues, co-workers for any kind of help you need. It's not आपका कोई इसमें आपका कोई बेइज्जती नहीं है, इसमें आपको कोई जज नहीं करेगा. Even if they are judging you, let them judge. You are there to find the problem for your life.
So basically, we can conclude that we have to live our life. It's our life, and we have to live it on our own way.
Yeah, and it is important. If you need help in that, you can live. We have to live our life on our own way, on our own terms. But if in that thing you are getting stuck and you are not finding a solution, and if you feel that if I reach out to so and so person, that person can help me, don't hesitate to reach out to anybody. If you have a problem, you have to talk to people, right? I don't still date, I don't hesitate. If I need anything, I just walk up to that person that I need this thing, I need your advice, I need your help, whatever help. It can be monetary help, it can be emotional help, it can be financial help, right? Everybody needs to reach out to that thing. If you want a glass of water, we will pick up that glass of water to drink. It will not come on its own. It is something like that. Yeah.
So it is a great message from your side, ma'am. Moving to the topic of today's discussion, crime against women, Western culture, rural thinking, and weak laws. So as we have recorded, according to the National Crime Record Bureau, India, there is one Rory death in the country every 78 hours, and one act of sexual harassment every 59 minutes, one rape every 34 minutes, and one act of torture every 12 minutes. And almost 1 in every 3 married women experience domestic violence. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
So, ma'am, my next question to you is: how do you see India as a country for women? And if you think we are lacking, then tell us what are the places we are lacking.
First of all, I'll say that we try and compare ourselves to any country, any Western country, or any culture which we are not part of, right? But at the same time, I always appreciate that our country has accepted change in the culture. Girls have started working out. Like, I come from a family where we were not supposed to work. We were like, you study and then you get married and then your family will take care. Girls are not supposed to step out and work. Girls are not supposed to be the breadwinners of the family. So from there, where I have come from, I have been a breadwinner of my family, right? I have taken care of even men in my family. I have raised my son all. So these things have definitely changed, but now where are we stuck? I think we are stuck somewhere in between, where now neither we are able to leave our old culture and neither we are able to completely adapt the Western culture. So we are somewhere now as a society, we are stuck. So that we are stuck where girls are still being judged on what they wear. We are still being judged on how we appear, how our appearance is, whereas we are not judged what quality we possess, what talent we have. So it is again a mindset which really requires to be changed. And when I say a mindset needs to be changed, it is not that only men need to change their mindset. I have seen a lot of girls also having only men commit crime. I have seen girls committing crime on girls, women committing crime on women. Even in domestic violence, I have seen mother-in-law torturing daughter-in-law, daughter-in-law torturing mother-in-law. It is so as a society, we all need to understand that human life is not to be taken so lightly that you can just harass, abuse, exploit, or finish that life. You have to respect each and every life. And definitely now the sad part is that as we are growing in society, as we are becoming more and more advanced, you will see that crimes are also increasing a lot. First, I will say maybe because now the news is there, social media is there to cover that much. The crimes were happening earlier also, but there was not that much of coverage. So I take it as a good thing that now the crimes are being covered, so people are being aware. So not everybody is a criminal, but yeah, if I find that okay, somebody has that kind of thought, I can definitely guide, counsel that person so that he or she doesn't become a criminal. So as a society, I feel it is everybody's responsibility, and it starts from each and everybody's home only, that if you have a daughter, son, mother, father, whosoever, if you feel that that person needs, you have to start it from your home. We say ना कि तिनके से ही घर बनता है, तो it is like you can't go out to change the society. आप पूरा समाज को नहीं बदल सकते हो, आप खुद को बदलिए, अपने आसपास के लोगों को सही चीजें बताइए, और आपको लगता है कि कहाँ क्राइम होने वाला है या हो सकता है, and if you think you can make a difference into that person's life, so it is very important. So everybody, because you know what, the saddest part is कि हम ऐसे एक समाज में रहते हैं जहाँ आधे लोग सोचते हैं हमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है, we don't bother, और we say कि जब तक हमारे साथ नहीं होता है हमें फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. I have faced domestic violence, and I can understand how difficult it is, how traumatic it is to get out of it, and how difficult it is to go through it. Both ways, it is very, very, very important that we understand this. And sadly, our laws are still very, very loose. There are a lot of loopholes the girl has to suffer. But I think gradually we are changing, and I am very sure next 10-20 years there will be a lot of change.
All right, ma'am. So one question I would like to put it here. So what do you think Western culture is helping to come out from all these things, or by this only we are lacking?
So, I always say that never copy anything blindly, right? कुछ चीजें उनकी अच्छी हैं, कुछ हमारी अच्छी हैं, है ना. आपके अंदर सब अच्छाइयां नहीं है तो आपके अंदर सब बुराइयां भी नहीं है. एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग मैं पूरी खराब नहीं हूँ. हो सकता है I have few bad things in me, so maybe I can see you and see your good things, and I can adapt into my life, and it's vice versa. You see few good things in me, you can adapt that. Absolutely. But I as a person, I can't change 100% by seeing you. I can't become Harsh and Harsh can't become Shalini, right? So it's the same way. Whatever our culture, tradition is, we can't 100% become westernized, we can't 100% become modern, we can't 100% become a culture where what America is. Neither America can follow what 100% India is. So it is very important that we need to strike a balance and see what is right and what is. If our culture teaches us to respect elders, touch their feet, and I think it is a very good culture. If we get some blessings, and it also helps elder. If today I touch my mother's feet or my father's feet, it is just I'm getting their blessing. And also if I'm bending in front of an elderly person, what I'm my ego is coming down, that nobody is bigger than, even if I've risen too much in life, still I have a person where I can bend down, right? So it is very important that a person needs to strike a balance. I am not very fond of Western culture in wholesome, but definitely I like few things of theirs, which I feel that as a country we have adapted, and few things I have not liked theirs also, which I feel they as a nation can also adapt. That is up to them. But definitely for a human being, I say never try to copy anybody blindly. See if that thing fits you, if that is the requirement of your life, if that is the requirement of your family. Everybody has few things written down. I'm sure you have your some family traditions which every family member wants to follow, even I want to follow, and we follow it. But that doesn't mean that following that I will not follow that tradition so blindly that I'm harming my present self or my family person. If that tradition is not giving happiness in my family today, I will like to go away with that tradition and do something which is giving more happiness in my family. That is more important.
Wonderful, ma'am. And also you have mentioned a wonderful point that we don't have to follow anybody blindly. We have to take their best, and if it is in something is best in their culture, then we have to take learning from theirs. And absolutely we have to see that what is best in our culture, we have to look for that also. So ma'am, moving to my next question, what do you think, what are the prime reasons and root cause of most of those crimes which actually happen to girls and women?
So root cause, it will be very difficult to pinpoint on any one root cause, but definitely I will say that, as I said earlier also, the education has to be from the home, right? If I have a son, my son is today 21 years old. I don't know what is your age. So
22.
Like my son is 22. So my son is just 1 year younger to you. Now it is my responsibility to give him the right learnings. It is my responsibility to check on him that he has to respect women, right? At the same time, I don't force him that you have to respect women. It has to come from inside. So as a mother, as a parent, it's my responsibility that I give the right upbringing to my son or to my daughter. If I will have a daughter, I will tell him to respect men also. So it is very sad, like I do sessions where a lot of men also come to me who face abuse through their spouses or through their colleagues. So it is very important that we don't isolate anything. I generally talk about human being in general, that root cause of anything to be pinpointed, it is very important that everything has to start from home. We can't say that we will get the education in school. We go to school for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. We go to office for 10 hours. But maximum time we spend at home. First time when we open our eyes to understand things, we see things at home. So it is very important for each and every person of the family to understand that it is very important to respect human life and at the same time a woman. Because woman still is considered to be a weaker sex of our society. She still needs to walk a long way to become equal, though she keeps fighting for her rights and privileges, but I think still there is lots and lots she needs to. In metro cities we still feel that we've got that status of equality and all, but when you go to villages and interiors, women are still struggling. They are still facing a lot of violence. They are still abused a lot in terms of financially, emotionally, physically. So we all together have to really work on it to find the best place on this planet for everybody.
All right, ma'am. So as ma'am, you have already mentioned about the education. So I would like to ask my question related to it only. What do you think, ma'am, in our education we are lacking somewhere to teach the moral values?
I will say not completely. In our school also we are given so एक होता है क्राइम करने वाला होता है, एक क्राइम से किसी को बचाने वाला होता है, ठीक है ना? तो बचाने वाले को भी तो किसी ने सिखाया है ना कि क्राइम इज रॉन्ग, राइट? So as I said, it is very difficult to pinpoint one particular thing. इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू पिन पॉइंट कि किस वजह से ऐसा हो रहा है, क्या स्कूल में सही नहीं सिखाया गया, क्या घर में नहीं सिखाया गया, ऐसा नहीं। इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू सी व्हाट इज राइट। जो क्राइम कर रहा है उसके लिए क्राइम गलत नहीं है वो, क्योंकि उसको लगता है मैं सही कर रहा हूँ। भाई उसको अगर पता है ये गलत है तो वो नहीं करेगा। But the person who is committing crime, a person who is murdering somebody or who is raping somebody, he never feels I am doing anything wrong. He feels कि मैं तो ये काम करके बच जाऊंगा. Only the crime, when it is caught, it becomes a crime, right? So I will not say that schools are not giving the right values. That will definitely not be the right thing to say. I think it is for the person to understand that for me, maybe for me committing a murder is all right, maybe for you it is not. So that means something is wrong with me if I feel committing a murder is right. So I need to see somebody to why I feel such things are right. Educational institutes are never to be blamed. They always give us the best teachings.
Wonderful, ma'am. So, ma'am, moving to my next question, what do you think? What can be the measure we can take to reduce these kind of crimes?
See, first of all, I say it is important. You are saying reduce. I believe in a society where there is no crime. Reduce भी नहीं, zero crime हो, which is again a very big dream of mine. We wake up to a place where there is no crime. And even in this corona times also we hear of few crimes here and there, but still the crime has reduced drastically. And you know what amazes me, that a corona has to come to reduce the crime on this planet because people are locked and there is no crime. But coming back, see, it is again I say even among pehle hota it is your family who needs to give you the right upbringing. It is very important. And at the second, then you come and meet your friends. You know, friends also play a very important role. Mostly you would have seen these crimes are not committed in isolation. Generally, all these kind of crimes are committed with 2-3 people together. So they can be friends, they can be colleagues, they can be co-workers. So it is important that everybody works together and everybody understand what is right and what is wrong. And this only comes when you start respecting a human life. And it is very important to respect a human life. And then again, in our country, it is very important to respect the woman, because we are still considered a weaker section of the society. We are still struggling. Even when a child is born, you see a mother and a father. A child automatically learns that father is strong and mother is weak. How does this? Nobody is teaching him that. But the way we live, that mother is taking care of the house, father is going out, mother is dependent on the father for everything, even for the child's needs. So the child makes it in his mind that okay, the mother is supposed to be the caregiver and father is good. And most of the children are scared of their father, but they're not scared of the mother. Why? Fathers are not monsters. This is our society, how we are brought up, that women are weaker section. So it is very important. My one advice and message is that to reduce crime or to make our planet crime-free, it is important that we start respecting human life, whether it is a man or a woman. Very important to respect the weaker section. Again, the weaker section can be a man and a woman. Unfortunately, today we are struggling that women are still the weaker section, and I don't want men should become a weaker section. Everybody should be equal. Till the time we don't respect and we don't have that empathy and some sympathy. I need to be empathetic and sympathetic towards everybody, every creature. Then only I can see a change in this society. And I can't change people, I have to change. If हर कोई अगर अपने ऊपर काम करे तो दुनिया बहुत अच्छी हो जाएगी. Problem is लोग दूसरों को सिखाते हैं और खुद नहीं करते हैं.
Wonderful message. And also, ma'am, one thing you have put, I like very much that we have to work on gender equality rather than empowering women only, and we have to work for gender equality, right? So, ma'am, as this conversation is getting more serious, so I would like to ask you, ma'am, please tell us something about. I have read about you and found that you were the Mrs. India of 2017. So tell us about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so see, Mrs. India 2017 happened. It was again a surprise for me because I was never into beauty and glamour and all those things. I was doing my corporate job after army. But my friends felt that I have done so much in life. There's so many people in my personal life who follow me, who get inspired by me, and they felt that Mrs. India is a huge platform where people will get to know about my story, and they will see that how women can change lives, how women. Because I'm coming from a family which is a very conservative, Rajput family who are very conservative. We have Parda system, we have Sati system. If your husband dies, then you are just not coming out of your room for the rest of your life. We are that strict a community, and coming from that community, wearing uniform, standing for my own self, it is a big thing, which is still considered a very big thing in my entire Khandan. So my friends felt that, and you know what, I laughed and I thought it is not required. But then one thing came to my mind, that why not experience it? Because again, it is a very short life and one life only, and we can experience and learn a lot of things. And with that thought, I just filled up for the auditions of Mrs. India, and I was not sure whether I'll be selected or not because I was not prepared for anything because of my job and my family commitments. But I got selected, and then I participated. So I always believe in being I never bothered about results. That is one very big thing I've learned in my life. You put your sincere efforts, you put your 100%, and leave the rest. If you have given your 100%, you are sincere in your efforts, you will get what you want. So I never thought I will win the pageant, but I won the pageant because I gave my heart and soul to the preparations and to the pageant. And not every time you get what you want. So instead of cursing the system or cursing that unke mein kami hogi, maybe you have lagged in some effort, that is why you're not getting your desired results. It is better always to put in some more effort. I'll tell you a very interesting thing. When I met with a road accident, I was bedridden for 1 year, nearly 1 year. And then since I was a runner, after getting into army, I got into running. So after my accident, doctor said I can never run in life. And that became a challenge for me, that how can he say that? And it took me next 3 years. I just started working on my running. I couldn't run. I could barely walk for 200 meters, 300 meters. My leg still has a lot of implants in my body. And today I'm a marathon runner, And so it is important that, when the first time I participated in the marathon of 5 kilometers, I couldn't even run 500 meters. So, but today I can run 21 kilometers. So it's not that I should start blaming, मेरे पैर में चोट लग गई, वो ऐसा हो गया, डॉक्टर ने कहा है तो मैं नहीं कर सकती. So if you give your heart and soul, and it's like never give up in life, you can always find a solution.
Great, ma'am. I pray to God more success come to your way. So moving to my next question, ma'am, what message would you like to give, as we have moved to the point that we are talking about gender equality, so I'm not talking about only women. What would you like to say for those who are feeling weak themselves in any way?
Okay, so first of all, I will tell each and everybody who is listening, who will listen, it is important that don't think that you are weak. एक छोटी सी चींटी भी अपने आप को वीक नहीं समझती है. कितने बड़े बड़े क्यूब बना के they go and fetch their food, and it is a saying that एक छोटी सी चींटी भी हाथी को गिरा सकती है, right? So first of all, never think that you are weak. But at any point in life, if you feel that you are stuck anywhere, first of all, reach to the nearest available people in your life, whether it is your family, friends, brother, sister, spouse, your boss, your colleague, your co-worker. And इतने में ही आपको आपका solution मिल जाएगा. अगर उसके बाद भी आपको लगता है कि you are not able to find a solution to your problem, please reach out to specialists of those people. They may not be known to you, but then there are a lot of specialists. If you are lacking in your physical stamina, please go and meet somebody who can train you physically. If you're lacking in your mental health, please meet somebody who can help you in your mental health. If you are lacking in physics, chemistry, go and see a physics chemistry tutor. If you think you need to become a pilot, your family can help you only in telling, but you need a training for that. Please go out to that training. So my point is, never think that you are weak. अगर आप अपने अगल बगल लेफ्ट राइट एक बार आंखें घुमा के देखेंगे तो आपके पास बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो आपको स्ट्रॉन्ग बना सकती है. इट इज ओनली इम्पोर्टेंट दैट यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट यू रिक्वायर. इट इज वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट दैट यू नो व्हाट यू नीड एंड देन प्लीज वर्क इन दैट डायरेक्शन.
Amazing message, ma'am. As we are running out of time and I don't want to waste much of your time, so moving to my last question, ma'am. As we have seen one case today, I think that it is because of less we are more towards the mental health. So, ma'am, what would you like to comment on?
So I think in this conversation of last 30 minutes, we have spoken about it in between. Again, I would like to say that we ignore our mental health. We feel कि अगर हम किसी को बोलेंगे कि मुझे थोड़ा डिप्रेशन होता है या I am mentally not feeling okay, तो अगला मुझे पागल कहेगा और दिन से वो ये she is gone mad और he is gone mad. किसको and we laugh on अरे ये तो पागल हो गया, इसको आगरा डाल दो, इसको वहाँ डाल दो. You remember how we make fun of people who are not mentally keeping well. So it is very important that if you are not able to see an injury, that doesn't mean it's not an injury. Mental health is also a kind of injury, a kind of disease if you are going through. So please don't shy away from reaching out to people, and at the same time, if somebody is coming to you, please don't mock that person. That person might need help. Please help him. It is very important because if I am mentally upset, I would need somebody to talk to. It can be a doctor or it can be a friend. Maybe talking to my friend, I will feel nice. Talking to my partner, I will feel nice. Talking to my mother, father, anybody. So, but at the same time, the receiver, if I'm talking to my mother, if I'm talking to my friend, that receiver has to understand that this person needs some help. We should not mock that person. Today in our society, ironically, we are mocking people with mental health. That is the saddest thing that is happening, and you will be surprised to know that maximum people are suffering from mental health.
It was really a great message, and also it was a great interaction with you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. We will look forward to conduct more sessions with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.